Hi, readers. My name is Dawn Hughes, and I'm the coordinator for Booktrib's book club program. I'm here today with Patrick Asare, whose memoir, The Boy from Boadua, is a remarkable account of his journey of hunger and sacrifice in pursuit of a dream. Such an inspirational journey. Thank you for sharing it with us. Patrick's memoir is one of the books taking part in Booktrib's book club program for September. Thanks for taking a few minutes out of your time or schedule to talk to us today, Patrick.
Thank you, and thank you for the opportunity.
Our pleasure. I'd love to know, writing a memoir is a very emotional sort of task. What inspired you to write it, and what do you hope readers take away from this?
Yes, and so I immigrated from the Soviet Union. I actually was born in Ghana, which is a small country in West Africa.
Yeah.
And I was born to two illiterate parents, and they had, I'm part of a large family. They have 14 children. Wow. And so the illiterate parents with no profession. My father was a subsistence farmer. So there was a constant struggle to feed such a large family. So growing up in such a poor environment, I was a lot of struggle to get even the basic education that most Americans take for granted. So I did that, and I wasn't expected to go anywhere much as far as education is concerned, but I developed a love of reading as a young boy. And took that. And so that propelled me from the village, which I was one of probably the single person for entire generations to go from there to high school and then on to college. I went to college in the Soviet Union, and then I immigrated to America after that. And when I got here, having gone through so many hoops, just to get basic education, my first job in America was as a teacher in a public school district. I was hired to teach Russian and math, and I became immediately confronted with all the dysfunction we talk about in American public education, and so that was a rude awakening for me. And serving as a teacher for 2 years opened my eyes to a lot of the problems we see in public education in America. So that was the basis of the book. That's what motivated me to write a book. And to your second question about what I want readers to take from it, the book is actually primarily, the target audience is mostly for disadvantaged children, because that is my background. And having grown up in such an environment, I wanted to write my experience and to tell these kids that I was teaching to use the book to as an inspiration for them to know that, regardless of whatever circumstances they're growing up in, they could make something out of themselves. And so that was yes.
That's such an inspirational message. Obviously, our book club members are not necessarily children, but I still think there's so many great themes in there. Why do you think this would make such a good book club selection?
Yes, and that's a great point. And so going into the writing, that was my idea. But honestly, since the book got published, it has taken on a different audience altogether. It's a book that is very universal. Yes, because it goes from Ghana. I write a lot about the culture of Ghana, so the African culture. Yes. And then I spent 6 years in the Soviet Union during the Perestroika era, and I traveled extensively throughout the Soviet Union and Western Europe. So there is a lot of information about the Soviet Union, the Cold War, Western Europe in there. And then this is my 31st year in America, and I bringing that background to America, and as a Black male, looking at all the issues with racism and urban culture and parental absenteeism, everything that touches the education system. So it is a book that touches. It's a book that has universal appeal, and so the readers have ranged from children to adults, all background. And so the appeal of the book is the universal message of it, and all the cultures and things that a reader would come across.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I can see, I haven't read the book yet. It's on my list. I can
Yes.
see how
Okay.
it would be inspirational, but also just an open book for discussion,
Yes,
something
yes,
to talk
exactly.
about. Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
exactly. And I think the timing of the book is also very propitious, actually, because you look at the current Ukraine-Russia war that's going
Yeah.
on.
Yes.
I lived in that region. I spent the bulk of my time in the Soviet Union. Actually, I lived all 6 years in Ukraine, and where the war is happening now is I lived in Donetsk, Kyiv, and Kharkov, and so the book has information about the landscape and all the relationships between Russians and Ukrainians and the whole Soviet Union, and geopolitics is a big theme of the book. And
Yeah.
so that there is a lot of information for a book club type discussion. Yes.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see what the book clubs do spend time talking about with it.
Yeah.
We are going to transition away from your book for this last question, because we always like to know what writers are reading. I'd love to know what the best book you've read, fiction or nonfiction, in the past year it's been.
Yeah. So the when my book got published, a friend of mine read the book, and he was sort of taken, I would say, blown away by the book. And so he then gifted me Endurance by Alfred Lansing.
Okay.
So I read that, but I hadn't read it before. I didn't even know about it. So he gifted me the book, and I read it, and it was such an incredible book. I mean, it's an adventure book that has since been made into a movie. I mean, it's a very famous book, and so I would say in the last year that's really the most interesting book I've read. It's quite a book.
That book is on my list too. It's high up on my list. I can't wait to read it. So you've given me another reason.
I recommend it highly.
Thank you. Well, we hope that readers love your book as much as you love that book.
Yes, thank you.
I do have to wrap up this discussion, even though I could talk to you for hours.
Yeah.
So thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
For more information about Patrick's amazing memoir, please check out the book club page on the booktrib.com website.